Oh boy, Teen Titans The Judas Contract was actually pretty good. I do have some problems with this movie, but I think that overall, it was a win for DC Animation. And I feel like this is laying the groundwork for not only the DCEU maybe possibly bringing in the Titans, but also maybe even the CW universe. I'm still hoping for a Teen Titans show, and I'll explain why in a second. But anyway, hey everybody, it's Marshall Monk here. As you can tell, this is going to be my Teen Titans The Judas Contract movie review, so careful for spoilers. There will be spoilers in this video, so spoiler alert. Y'all got the spoiler warning. I ain't gonna tell you again. Alright, let's get to this review. So Teen Titans The Judas Contract is so good. Again, I do have problems with this movie, and we'll dive into those problems throughout the character discussion, but I feel like overall the movie was really great. It was a great fun movie, which is crazy because DC movies aren't supposed to be fun according to the critics. But I'm here to tell you, as a kind of a critic, I'm here to tell you this is a really fun movie. It's a fun movie because it's the Teen Titans. The Teen Titans have always been a fun group of characters. I love the Teen Titans. I was a huge fan of the original animated show, not Teen Titans Go, the original animated show, and I was also a fan of the comics. And not as much as the comics as I was the animated show, because, you know, I was a kid, didn't read comics as much back then as I do now, which is kind of weird. But, yeah, I think that they really did well with this movie. The first movie, Teen Titans vs. Justice League, was okay. I felt like that movie took up too much of the Justice League, and that's why we didn't get as much fun, because the Teen Titans weren't in it as much. And that's the answer for you DC animated movies. Make more Teen Titans movies. I mean, obviously, people like them, and I'm liking this movie more than I have a lot of the other animated films. I do think Justice League War is my favorite still out of the whole movie universe for the animated shows, or animated movies, but I feel like this one comes really close. But in this movie, they focus on the Judas Contract storyline. They kind of bend it a little bit to fit their animated universe, though, because it's not an exact telling of the actual story. It's not an homage either. It's kind of basically bending the story just to kind of fit their universe while still trying to tell the story of the Judas Contract. But I do feel like, as I said earlier, this really makes you feel like a TV show. This movie, this animated show, makes you think, what if the Teen Titans had an animated animated series, but not Teen Titans Go? Or what if they had a live action series? I feel like these characters could work really well in live action, so TNT should be ashamed, because TNT was originally going to have a Teen Titans show, and then they canceled it. You guys missed out. But I feel like this movie has so much great energy, and that's why I want it to be a live action series. The energy of this movie is great. The opening sequence alone is my favorite, probably my favorite sequence in the movie. That or the Nightwing Deathstroke fight. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the opening sequence had the original Titans. Those aren't the original, but they are for the movie universe that they're creating, the DC animated one. They're the original Titans. So you have Bumblebee, Speedy, Kid Flash, Robin, and Beast Boy. And even my favorite part of the opening sequence was the driving scene, when Robin's driving the car, and it's like, you let me drive, and then Beast Boy is back in the back posting his status, and Bumblebee's just like, I'm upset with all of you, and then Speedy's right there in the front. That was my favorite sequence. The Teen Titans have always had this energy that's just really youthful and very exciting, you know, but an energy that the Justice League really just can't have because they're adults. So it really kind of gives you a different perspective, and it would be really great to see that in a live action sense, because we don't really have that right now with the CW shows. We have it a little bit on the Flash, but I feel like it would work better on its own show with the Teen Titans. But let's talk about all the characters. So we have to talk about Nightwing and Starfire. I don't want to talk about Nightwing as a single, because I'm going to talk about him more with the Deathstroke fight. Nightwing and Starfire are incredible in this movie. They are power couple goals. I mean, they seriously are the best couple in comic book history. Maybe not comic book history, but like one of the best couples, just because they're so scandalous. I mean, the reason why they're so scandalous is because Starfire is basically like this, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. She's basically a sex alien. I mean, that's basically what she is. I mean, she wears the craziest, you know, revealing clothes. She comes from this planet that's just how it is. I mean, she literally freaking learns how to speak a language by kissing someone. So obviously, she's there for the sex appeal. But I feel like it works with this character. They try to do it with Harley Quinn. They try to do it with probably Catwoman. I mean, they do it in the video games. But I feel like with Starfire, they can do it because that's where she's from. That's her nature. But at the same time, she's innocent. She's innocent because she doesn't know any better, yet she still dresses like that because that's where she's from. So it really kind of makes for this fun sense of playfulness that really works with the character. So I love Starfire. I also love her as a leader. She does very well. I didn't like her as a leader in the first movie. I don't know why. She just didn't work well with me. Maybe because I'm a Robin fan at heart when it comes to the Titans leader. But here, oh, I loved her as the leader. It worked so well. I even love when she kind of argued with Dick about who really is the leader. She was like, I don't know, they come to you more naturally, but I'm supposed to be the leader of this team. So I love her kind of figuring it out while still trying to be the leader. It was fantastic. And Nightwing was fantastic too, helping her with that role. Now let's talk about Deathstroke. Oh, he's back. So I loved him in Son of Batman. I thought he was really great in that movie. And so when he came back here, I was like, oh, Deathstroke, you're back. You haven't aged a day because you have the Lazarus Pit. That's why. I loved it. I loved him in this movie. I thought he was great. There was one scene in particular I hated though, and one I guess not edit to the script because it wasn't edited, but it was like made. One decision made it with the script that I did not like at all. We'll talk about that with Tara. But I loved the Deathstroke fight sequence with Nightwing. I thought it was fantastic. I loved him finding out. It was kind of weird because he knows who Batman is technically now, and he knows. Well, maybe I don't know for sure about that, but he knows who Nightwing is. And I guess if you know who Nightwing is, you pretty much know who Batman is because Bruce adopted Dick when he was a child, and it's like public record. So I guess he knows who Batman is now? I don't know. It's really weird. But I loved seeing Slade in here. Now let's talk about what I hated about it. Tara. I think that Tara was an interesting character. I always loved Tara as a character, especially in the animated series, the first series of Teen Titans. The only problem I had with Tara is, one, they tried to make her as a love interest for Deathstroke, and I was like, I can't do that. Because it really felt like they were doing Mad Love. I mean, she was basically wearing the same dress that Harley Quinn was wearing during the Mad Love storyline. And I was like, nope, copycatting. Another thing that I didn't like is that they didn't show a huge part of what makes Tara's arc in the Teen Titans, when she betrays the Titans, is that, and there was this one scene, and we'll talk about Beast Boy in a second. There was this one scene where Deathstroke was like, "Do you take care of Raven?" And she's like, "Yeah, I took care of Raven." And Raven's knocked out on the ground. And I was like, what the heck? You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to show the fight between Raven and Tara, because their powers are actually very similar in ways, and their fights have always been the best, especially in the animated series. If you watch the episode where Tara takes down Raven, oh, it's fantastic. So I hated when they cut that out. I loved Beast Boy in this movie. I thought Beast Boy was spectacular. I thought he was fun, just like Beast Boy is. He had the catchphrases that Beast Boy uses from the animated show, and I don't know if they're in the comics. I haven't read too much of Teen Titans comics. I can't remember for sure. But I loved Beast Boy in this movie. He was probably one of my favorite characters. Again, where was the Raven fight scene with Tara? Is that a deleted scene? Because I demand to see it. Raven didn't have much in this movie, but she took up most of the last movie. Like, the whole movie was basically about Raven. So I understand why they didn't want to do much Raven in this movie. And I'm like, okay. But I feel like the movie has a lot of time management issues. I feel like the movie doesn't have enough time to really give all the storylines, because the Beast Boy storyline felt rushed a little bit with the Tara love arc. It didn't feel like there was enough payoff in the end. It felt like even though he found out, oh, Tara's evil, it didn't feel like that big of a deal because it wasn't that big of a relationship arc. Kind of like it was in the series. It was a big thing in the series, but here it just didn't feel like it. Even Blue Beetle got the short end of the stick. Blue Beetle had this huge arc where he wanted to help people because, he wanted to help people more naturally. Even though he's a superhero with these powers, he wanted to help people out of the goodness of his heart. And they didn't do too much of that storyline because they didn't have enough time to focus on it. It was like there were so many things going on. The runtime was just so small. But Blue Beetle still got a fair amount of time with that storyline. I still would have liked to see more from that, though, because I feel like that was a big part of the arc, of his arc, that we didn't get to see. Now, Robin didn't get much in the movie either. I mean, he got a fair amount of scenes. I mean, he got a fight scene with Deathstroke. And I love when Deathstroke comes and he's just like, you've been using the Lazarus Pit, and then just go into fighting. I love that. There's no shock value at all. It's just like, all right, let's just, let's do that. We know the routine. Let's just fight. I loved that. I loved how they planned that. So that was great, too. But again, Robin didn't have much in the movie either. But I think that, all that aside, Brother Blood was fine, too. I thought that he started out as a poor villain, but then he got better. And I was like, all right, I can see why Brother Blood is so menacing, because he's, like, really menacing in the movie, at least at the end. So overall, I think the Teen Titans Judas contract is pretty enjoyable. There's a lot of humor in here, a lot of fun. There is action. So I think it's everything that a comic book movie needs, and I feel like, again, it's laying the ground for not only the DCEU for the Titans, but it's also laying the ground for a possible TV universe appearance from the Titans. But what do you guys think? Comment down below. Did you like the movie? Did you not like it? Tell me why. Who was your favorite character, and what was your favorite arc from the movie? I would like to know. I am going to catch up with videos. I'm going to get my Legends of Tomorrow videos out as soon as possible, and the rest of my other DC TV Universe videos. So don't forget to scream this video out to the world by sharing it down below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys later for some more videos. Bye-bye.